YouTube land, what's good? It's been a while since I said that. It's your boy B here, aka Brian, aka Prince Vegeta Wild the Hating. This is the Runback, the series where I interview some of your favorite content creators slash gaming people slash dope people doing dope things. This is my first and probably, well, maybe not only, but only in the foreseeable future movie review slash discussion. I don't really know what we're gonna call this. We're just gonna talk about a certain movie called Dragon Ball Superheroes, as you can clearly see with the like wallpaper slash graphic design that I made. Really wasn't too hard, but cut me some slack when you see it. It's not the greatest in the world. It could be better. I figured that I would give a call to someone I know as like my little bro and the biggest Dragon Ball fan that I know. Technically his first run back, well, actually second, because he's been on one for MK11 discussion. He's been on the regular podcast. Speaking of the regular podcast, real quick, just a church minute announcement. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel, Tyler Bryan Hour. That's where the podcast is going to be. The Runback is only going to be on the gaming channel because it's a gaming discussion, except for this exception where we're talking about Dragon Ball Super. But without further ado, Real Grim. Actually, first time you ever seen Real Grim's face on the YouTube channel, which is new. What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's good with y'all, YouTube? It's your boy, like you just said, Real J Grim in the building. It's the first time seeing your boy. What's up? How y'all doing? Thanks for having your boy Prince. I had to be here.
Yeah. We talked about doing this unforeseen things kind of happened. Life got in the way. Caught COVID. He's seen the movie multiple times. I think I've only seen the movie twice. How many times have you seen the movie, Grim?
So I've seen the movie four fucking times, my guy. The first time was by myself, and that was in the sub. Second time I also seen it by myself, and then I seen it with my pops the third time, and then a friend the fourth time. Yeah.
So I went on a date the first time and I seen it, and then I saw it with Tyler. Obviously, shout out to Tyler. Saw it with him the second time, both dubbed. I didn't really feel like I wanted to watch it in sub, especially because I don't know why. I don't know if you're like this. And this is just a general discussion because, this is like a podcast, so you gotta have a little bit of conversation in it. When I watch a movie, bro, I always have the urge to pee. I don't know why. Like, at some point in time in the movie, I have to go to the bathroom. So it's always like...
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't go use the bathroom when I was watching a movie. Like, I don't know. I'll be long. I just don't gotta pee at all, really.
I don't know why. It always hits me like right when it's like the movie's building to the climax, like they're kind of down and they have to get to the point. It happened with I think Thor, and I think it happened with Doctor Strange. And I was just sitting there, I'm like fiddling like a little kid. I'm just like, I gotta go, and I just go. Well, I don't know why, but
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy you bring that up because like I genuinely can't think of the last time I gotta use the bathroom real quick watching. Like, cause I seen Dragon Ball Super 4 times, then I used the bathroom. I saw the Batman, then used the bathroom. And then Avengers Endgame, I don't know when the last one to use the bathroom. I'm just built different, you know what I'm saying?
I guess so. Cause what's crazy too is like I'm conscious. Like I'll go to the bathroom like during the previews, and like so I don't know if I'm like just drinking too much. I don't know if it's because I had too much earlier in the day or what. But enough to talk about the bathroom. Obviously, we knew this movie was coming out. We've seen the trailers, we've seen the previews, we send each other stuff, this and the third. It got leaked or whatever. You might have an alleged link, somebody might have or may not have. What was your expectations going into this movie? Like, were they high? Were they low? Were they indifferent? Did you like what you see? Were you too hyped? Did you?
Alright, so the movie got announced. It was called Dragon Ball Superhero. I thought the title like so fucking like original, like so much creativity in the title. But with a title like Dragon Ball Superhero, it still brought curiosity because this was the first movie after the show ended back in 2017, I believe 2017 or 18. I I don't have to know everything, guys. Chill out. But anyway, it was one of those years, and it was just like the first movie we got after Dragon Ball Broly, which was that same year. I think it ended. So, around curiosity, I was, I'm just a huge Dragon Ball fan, so I was ready for the movie. And then the panel came. We saw character art and all that, and it looked like it was gonna be 2D. So like, all right, bet 2D movie, cool. Then the first teaser dropped. It was CG. Now, at first, I was like, "Well, what the fuck are y'all doing? Y'all don't do this. Y'all do 2D." But then, at the same time, I was recently watching animes like Dorohedoro and Keegan Unsure. Check it out, by the way, if you guys haven't seen that. Yeah, CG animations, and I like those CG animations. And Dragon Ball is one of the fucking goats when it comes to fight. So with this type of animation, it gotta still be fire, right? So after that, the expectation was mid. I'm gonna say it was mid. It was still mid because at the end of the day, it was CG. It was still taking time to get used to it, and I was wondering what the story's gonna be about because the trailer didn't give too much away either. So when the first movie got announced, it was mid expectation. I didn't know what to expect really.
I would say for me, obviously I am a Dragon Ball fan, and Super's manga was doing quite well. A lot of people were hyped about Super's manga. I feel like the anime kind of left I'm gonna say a bad taste in everybody's mouth because it kind of ended on a note. So with this movie, obviously Broly knocked it out the park, and then they announced this movie, and then they had like a 3D animation to it. I was kind of curious. It's kind of a head scratcher. I was like, not that I hated it. I was just like, but the Broly movie looks so good, and even the staff that worked on the Broly movie went to One Piece, and One Piece was looking good. So I was like, bro, this works. Y'all won, and y'all want to switch it up. I'm like, okay. So my expectations were a little low, and then on top of that, the superhero theme. Dragon Ball's kind of always been this above life type of characters that are stronger than humans, and they got all these different aliens and different races and stuff like that. So a superhero theme kind of was like a head scratcher to me. Right. And also, I'd say another reason why my expectations were low was because of who they were adding. It seemed like all the characters when they were getting revealed, there were so many characters. So I'm thinking how is this going to be paced? How is this going to be how's the flow of it? You mean to tell me that you're going to make a movie in 2022 with Gohan and Piccolo, the main leads, and Goku and Vegeta are not going to be in the movie? I know that I feel like it's Dragon Ball Z, obviously the tryhards, whether it be on the podcast or on the YouTube channel, somebody's going to have an opinion on this. But I think there's times where Goku was barely not in the story. So the fact that you're yo, Goku and Vegeta are not even going to be the main focal point when in Super, when Super, they've been the main focal point the whole entire time. So I'm just, the expectations were kind of all over the place. I was kind of low. I didn't want to set myself up too high to be disappointed. Yeah,
it's funny you say that too. So yeah, because after I said my expectations were mid, because the CG and just the title, and basically the CG was the main point of the movie being mid expectations for me. But then when I found out that the main character was fucking Piccolo and Gohan, I'm like, okay, we might be doing something, because Dragon Ball, my favorite Dragon Ball Z characters are literally Piccolo and fucking Gohan in that exact order. So it fucking great start. And then, Piccolo has been hold so many times in Dragon Ball Super, and Gohan, I ain't gonna say anything to hold, but some shit is good, but you just know it can be better, right? Mm-hmm. That's the Gohan we got in Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, it was good, it was cool and all, but come on, bro, you can do better than that. So with the characters being Gohan and Piccolo, as the main role, I was like, all right, we're above mid, but still right in the area. But I was a little more excited when I found out that they were the main characters.
So since that's one of the topics that I wanted to talk about, and you kind of touched on it a little bit, but touch on it a little bit more, how did you personally feel with after watching the movie 4 times, Wait, Gohan and Piccolo being the main leads of this movie, did you feel like they were able to carry it? Was there ever a point in time where you kind of got bored with them or anything like that?
Nah. Anyway, yeah. So, nah. At any point, I did not get bored with the characters because, like I just said, Piccolo and Gon were my favorite characters, and going into the series. So watching the whole movie, I'm like, yo, it made me realize how much like why I fuck with this nigga the way I do. Because this nigga, bro, in my opinion, Piccolo was MVP of that damn movie. And you know, first of all, with the character development Piccolo has gotten over the series, it was just so cool seeing like this man on the screen, other than just being like a babysitter or just sideline. Like this man was MVP throughout the whole movie. The man was he got a house. First of all, can we talk about that?
Yeah, I didn't know Piccolo had a house. I was like, when did this happen?
Like, bro, what the fuck? Like, my man got a house. My man got a phone. He's close as fuck to Gohan and Gohan's family to the point where wait, this is a spoiler, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a review discussion. We spoiling shit. Spoiler warning.
Hey, sorry about that. But anyway, so Piccolo's close to Gohan's family to the point where Videl can literally call this man, hey, can you pick up Pan after school? Like, bro, what the fuck? That shit was crazy. And then seeing like his whole house and then mountain out there, I'm like, bro, this shit is cool.
I'll admit that I did get bored with Gohan, only because Gohan, I hate his trope. I hate his trope that like he's so involved in his studies that we don't know if he's changing the world or not. Like he's studying some bugs, but it could just be strictly for research and just the betterment of the environment, but we see nothing about that. So to us, it's kind of like a waste of time because it's just like, you know, there's that duality, or I guess, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but like just the problem about being a man where it's like you have your purpose, you have your goals, you have your things you want to achieve in life, but at the same time you have to spend time with family and friends, and Dragon Ball's case, you have to train. Because I don't know if you felt this way, maybe because excuse me, maybe because I'm a Gohan fan and like he was one of my favorite characters, and I'm one of those people that like when I talk about Dragon Ball characters, I take the good and the bad. I always kind of hate when they try to separate adult Gohan versus kid Gohan. It's like it's still fucking Gohan. Like, so if you like kid Gohan, you might not love adult Gohan, but it's the same person. So like I just hated that. It made it seem like in my head, I don't know if it's because they was trying to hype up the movie, because obviously Goku and Vegeta aren't there, but they were kind of like, yo, like when Pan was talking, shout out to Pan. Pan was perfect. All the moments was cute and adorable. I love Pan. Protect Pan at all costs. But what I was going to say was that, like, They made it seem like, yo, if Gohan really trained and really did what he was supposed to do, he would be the strongest. Because even like when Pan asked Piccolo that, Piccolo was like, yeah, I mean, if you just train, he'd be the strongest. And so like when he was kind of like bullshitting and like, oh, he thought I didn't train and then got beat up, and I was just like, Gohan, so are you training or are you not, bro? Like, what can you go pick up your kid? Can you not? What are you doing? Like he was kind of like, for the side role, it kind of took a while for Gohan to get going, but once he finally got going, I was okay with what he did. Piccolo, sorry, but Piccolo in the lead role, I thought was cool, and I'm not gonna lie, not that I didn't want to see the fight between Goku and Vegeta, because we always kind of feel like we needed that type of fight, especially now since like Vegeta doesn't have the evil sense of training anymore, to where he feels like he needs to get stronger than Kakarot. He just feels like he just needs to get as strong as Kakarot. So you don't really see Vegeta act out or Goku act out or vice versa. So their training is just like them training, literally. Once Broly wasn't a part of that, and like Broly wasn't in the fight, I got immediately annoyed and disappointed. So at that point, like once they were fighting, it got to a point in time where they were still fighting, and I'm like, all right, bro, let's get back to Piccolo. Like, shouldn't Piccolo be doing all this stuff that he needs to be doing, even though he's doing a lot in his taking time? I get it, because like you want to show what they're doing, but I'm like, man, after a while, like, yo, go back, bro.
Right.
That's how I felt.
Cool. Yeah, I was still cool as fuck though seeing Piccolo just like, cause I ain't gonna lie, when the movie first got announced, soon it was like, oh yeah, these two are gonna be the main characters. I'm like, are they though? Are they really? Because you know, if you're really not a Saiyan in Dragon Ball, you're kind of just gonna get old. So I was worried, like, all right, let's say it's Gohan and Piccolo movie, cool. They should have equal amount of screen time, right? They should have, like, it should be their movie, not a Gohan featuring Piccolo movie. Mm-hmm. So I was worried that they was actually gonna get more screen time than Gohan, and like basically Gohan would just be a bigger role than Piccolo. But when I seen him, I'm like, yo, this man Piccolo this is his movie featuring Gohan. Like, this is not a Gohan and Piccolo movie. This is a Piccolo movie featuring Gohan. So that took me by surprise, especially with all the screen time he got, man. Like I said, MVP, you know, he's just a cool ass character. They didn't make him dumb. Like, this man Piccolo is not dumb. Like, he's actually one of the smartest characters in the universe. Gohan, like you said, like, oh, I'm not training because I'm doing research, but you know, I'm secretly training. Like, nigga, you can do bro. You can do that shit.
They
Piccolo,
did make Piccolo weak though, but that's towards the end. We'll
get into that later. And then, yeah, you know, with Piccolo training Pan, still training on his own, and then you know being invaded by Gamma One, shout out to Gammas. And then like nigga, the whole part with him like spying inside the Red Ribbon Army base. That shit is cool as fuck, because I don't think Dragon Ball's ever did some shit like that where someone that snuck in and like found knowledge. Well, I think they did that in the Android Saga, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember.
Well, they probably snuck into Dr. Giro's lab. But right, even then, like, it's not like they had to be hidden when they do it.
Right. But Piccolo being like scouting up as one of the guards, and then like, you know, actually like, oh, Commander, like I'm here. That shit was funny as fuck, but it's still cool as fuck because it shows you Piccolo's intelligence. And then, you know, with the whole contacting Goku and Vegeta, he realizes, you know, they're not on the planet right now, so he's like, all right, I gotta do my part and do whatever I can. And I'm like, yo, this is Piccolo we fucking need in the Dragon Ball series. Like, this man is the smartest, one of the smartest characters there. He knows his role. He's always going to protect the Earth. He gotta do what he gotta do to make sure he gets the job done at any cost. So that's what I fuck with. And Gohan, like you said, Gohan, you know, he wants to be a scholar, or he wants to study and just be like a. But he's gonna be a scholar, right? Something like that.
Well, he's already a scholar. He's just doing his research now.
Yeah, doing research. But it's like, bro. And then it's like throughout the whole series, he keeps going back and forth like, "Oh, Piccolo, I need you to train me so I can protect my family." Cool. Like, bro, you can do both, bro. You are strong to protect your family and still research at the same time. But for Gohan, you know, he was badass. I thought the scenes, the animation of his parts was dope as shit. I won't really. Well, fuck it. Yeah, and no, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
So yeah, let's get to the plot of the movie. The plot of the movie is basically the bad guys at the Red Ribbon Army is getting their revenge. Obviously, that Red Ribbon Army was really prevalent and more powerful, I guess, when Goku was a kid. But obviously, Goku's grown up, had family, he's a grandpa now, technically. So they grew up, and the Red Ribbon Army is led by Magenta, Commander Red's son. And then he goes to basically, I guess Dr. Hedo, excuse me, got out of prison, right? He didn't just break out. Yeah, he got out of prison, and you know, obviously they're working together.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick. So at the beginning of the film, they're talking about Dr. Hedo. He's like, "Oh, you got to wait 3 months." Nigga, they didn't say 3 months has passed. They're like, "Oh, you got to wait 3 months. He's serving time right now." And then next thing you know, he's out. I'm like, so actually, was that 3 months? Like, he just break out actually.
But there was a time skip in the movie.
Yeah, there was, but that was after Hedo already talked to like, what's dude's name? Magenta.
The short one's Magenta. I think the tall one's like Carmine or something like that.
Yeah, that was after he already talked to Vegeta and help him out. And then it said 6 months later. But even then, before that scene, it was like no toxic. I swear to God, because I was questioning that in the theater. I was like, wait, I thought you just said we gotta wait. So I'm assuming like they got done talking in the office and went to the prison.
Well, see, the first time I watched it, I didn't know that there was a 6-month time skip. I assumed that like he really just went and got to work, so maybe that's why I thought the 3 months came into play, because I didn't see that little graphic at the bottom of the screen that was like 6 months later. I was like, what the fuck? And then I saw that and I was like, oh, okay, so that makes sense of why they're built. But like even the Cell Max is not built. But yeah, they build these new androids, I guess if you will, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, and Cell Max, but Cell Max is not ready yet. So Cell Max, I guess, has the DNA, or is it cells? I don't really know of the fighters, I guess.
They said it was just like his knowledge and Dr. O's knowledge of cells. So I guess they just took whatever he did to make the first cell and just try to duplicate that to Cell Max. I believe so.
Okay. So then, Gamma 2 goes searching for Piccolo, because obviously one thing we forgot to mention is that it's pretty much like the Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other and it's the exact same thing. Magenta pretty much tells it to Dr. Hedo that Bulma and Capsule Corp and their research, and they have all these aliens and these evil people that want to destroy the world, when it's not true at all. They're saving the world from the other aliens and stuff like that. They want to protect it. But, you know, Red Ribbon Army's bad, and they sell it, and they sell this money, and Dr. Hedo is all about heroes. Thus the movie title. And so he builds Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, and then Gamma 2 goes out there to destroy basically Capsule Corp. Luckily for them, like we kind of mentioned earlier, Goku and Vegeta, Whis, Beerus, and Broly are all on another planet and they're training.
Yeah.
So Gamma 2 shows up and he fights Piccolo. He low diss Piccolo. Or actually, excuse me, high diss Piccolo, because he fucks Piccolo up. But like Grim said earlier, that Piccolo was smart, so he fucked him up, bro. It
was even fight. I don't know.
That was not.
Piccolo got the first hit, and if we just want to count hits, they both landed.
See, but this is why I don't like. This is why I don't like. You can't do MMA math when it comes to Dragon Ball, because by then you made it sound worse. Because when Piccolo was getting hit, there was whole like words popping up. Even Piccolo acknowledged that. He's like, "Yo, what's these words popping up?" He got his ass beat.
Why can I see his Yeah, the comedy was. Hey, I ain't lying, the comedy was pretty funny in that too.
I enjoyed Gamma 2. Well, speaking of the Gammas, I know we're kind of not really talking about the plot, but we talk about the characters. Like I said, it's gonna be more of a discussion than a review. What did you think of them? Or what did you think of all these characters, actually? Since we just talked about the bad guys.
Characters. So Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know, maybe because it was me being biased of Piccolo and Gohan, because like I said, my two favorite characters in that order, Piccolo and Gohan. The first time I watched it, I didn't give a fuck about them. I didn't even go about that. Because like I said, you know, the Piccolo and Gohan movie, I was really just seeing what they were gonna do with these characters. But the second time I watched it, and granted this time I was watching it dub, the motherfuckers cool as shit. I ain't gonna lie. The motherfuckers dope as shit.
Bro, my first thought was like, I want them in fighters. I want them in fighters so bad.
Right. What Piccolo was saying, like when I was still God, your drip was still out of style. So I'm like, don't do that, man, like that. That boy ain't cleaned out. Don't do that. But as far as the characters, yeah, I fucked with them. They were cool ass characters, bro. Like, cause basically their goal was to be a hero, and they lived up to those roles. Like,
well, so I also feel like they were a better version. Like, don't get me wrong, I love 17, 18, and 16 more than Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, but I feel like Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 were better androids, not only because maybe technology is better at this point in time in the arc or whatever, or in Dragon Ball, not only because I feel like they was able, granted it's a movie, but I feel like they was able to realize and start thinking about the decisions that they're making, because like in the movie, as the movie is progressing, they start to realize that, oh, we were never the heroes, we were more of the tools for the bad guys. And I like that they was able to realize that, where like 17 was pretty messed up for a while, 18 was pretty messed up for a while, 16 was able to come around, but he got his head stomped in. But you know, I digress. Gamma 2 was the highlight of the show for me personally. I actually loved Gamma 2 a lot. Or movie.
I'm actually gonna ask you that question, because even though both Gambas are cool as shit, did you like Gamma 1 or Gamma 2 better? I guess just answer it. Yeah,
well, I mean,
I like Gamma 2.
I feel like both dynamics are good. I feel like both of them did their role. Like, I like that one was stoic and more calm and more calculated, and obviously he was the first one, so he's the original one. And I like how 2 got more of a goofy, wild side, but he has more emotion, more raw. I feel like they both played their roles well, which I'm curious, we'll get into later. I'm curious to see what they would do in the future of Dragon Ball Super if they get brought back. Like, would they bring 2 back, or would they bring a third, and how would that one be? But that's for later down the line.
They bring them back. They would definitely be some good ass allies. I mean, allies. I said allies.
Yeah.
Real quick, to move on to one of my favorite Gamma 2 part. It's when they was fighting Cell Max, and he's like, "Yeah, just keep blasting them, hold them down, and I'm coming in with the tag." And the Gamma 1's like, "You're not thinking what I'm thinking about, dude, bro." He's like, "There's no other choice." Like, hey, like my man was cool as fuck for that shit, bro. I already gonna hold you on that one. He said, "Gamma, you can't. There's no other choice." Hey, Gamma 2, I posted that character up for real.
Yeah, he was cool. I liked him a lot. And then Magenta, he's kind of weak for a villain, bro. Not gonna lie, he didn't really.
Why all were like
Him, Carmine, and they was just kind of there. Same with the Red Ribbon. Same with the rest of the Red Ribbon Army. I know we didn't really get no guys outside of the one dude that attacked the teacher, but they were kind of just there. And I'm just like, they're all right.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the guy that got his ass beat by Pan, he did his role too, like as the cocky, confident guard who thinks he's bad at this shit, because he started with Piccolo like he was a rookie and shit, knowing, that's without knowing that he could just whoop his ass without him even knowing that shit. But it was still fun. Like he was like, "Oh shit, we can just get this shit right now. It's good," and then got his ass rocked and shit.
And doing that right away.
Yeah, Carmine, he was just there really, and Magenta was just there. Who else? Who's our characters? Pam, we said she was doing shit.
Yeah, I like Pam too. I guess this is a segment where we get into Z Fighters. I don't really know how this is going to turn into a discussion. I'm sorry. Like I said, it's a review / discussion. We're just talking. We're just talking at this point. So yeah, what did you think of the Z Fighters? Because I ain't gonna lie, I got some hot takes.
Yeah. That was them. Basically, Android 18 was still 18, She don't really fight as much today, but sometimes she'll still fight just to help out or just to get a little bit fun of fighting. Go to the trunks, it's cool to finally see these motherfuckers grow up, because goddamn, they've been like that age, that height for like how many years? But it's cool that they actually did give an explanation of Roseburg. So that was pretty cool.
But even then,
what?
Even then, them niggas not being GO tanks. Oh, bro, I was literally in the movie theater irate. Like, I'm like, bro, if they don't switch the they ain't gonna switch to GO tanks? You finally made them older and you ain't gonna switch it one time? You just gonna be the comic relief the whole time?
They definitely owe the fuck out of us too, because these motherfuckers literally did the fusion in the end. And then when they do it, they just pan out on them. Straight motherfucker.
I hated that, bro. I hated that.
But they were still cool, I guess. Even as fat tanks, they were still getting some hits on, doing their job as support characters. So it was still cool.
I got tired of seeing the ass crack, though. I said ass tank.
What the fuck? Ass tank? Yo, that might be a new meme. Hold on, let me find out.
But yeah.
Krillin was Krillin,
But it's so I think one gripe that I have, and obviously we'll get to the dislike section, but one gripe that I have is like, I got excited to see the characters be like them again, like actually say things and interact and do this stuff. But I hated that they just stuck to the tropes. Because even the other characters that we saw, not the Z fighters, like the Yajirobe and what's Catboy and Dende, like we got to see the other characters, but they were just one-offs. And even Videl was a one-off. And I'm just like, yo, like, we can't see nothing else. It's just like, I know it's a movie, but
what's so cool though, just having them be one off, like, hey, these characters are still in this universe, you know. They all had a role. Kind of. Videl was telling Piccolo to go pick up pen, which he did. Mm-hmm. Kern, I think the cat, well, I forgot. Look, I don't need to know everybody's name, right? But anyway, the cat, he gave them sense beans. Dende, he upgraded Shinra. I like, even though it was one off, they still did they had a role and they played their part good too. So it was cool seeing them. We was talking about Krillin, right? Cause I was about to say something Krillin. Yeah, Krillin, you know, being a little bitch at first, and then, you know, guts. And finally kicking in, so you know.
But he didn't even save him. He's like, "Oh, I saved Bulma, but I fucked Pan. Luckily, Pan learned how to fly right then and there, or she would have died." Oh, yeah,
that was wild. Like, he literally said, "Yeah, I'll make sure they're safe." And then, like, when the fucking key blast was like going off and shit, I'm like, "Bro, what? Pan over there. She should be behind your ass. You should be in front of her. Like, she shouldn't have been in that situation at first." So I was like,
so speaking of Dende.
Somewhere, but obviously, speaking of Dende, what?
Well, you was like cutting in and out, so it was like it wasn't. But speaking of Dende,
what's up?
Fuck, that is all over the place. This is a discussion at this point. It's not a review. I'm sorry, but rate this shit 5 stars and like it on YouTube. I don't like how Piccolo got his power and it still wasn't enough. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not fucking with
that. Kind of done the fuck out of me. Only because Piccolo in his base form was still somewhat able to keep up with Gamma 1, unless the Gamma got like this shit where like the longer they keep fighting, they get stronger on some Hawk shit. Only they implied that, but also they also got infinite stand. But yeah, that was bullshit. Because I actually fucked with the Ultimate Piccolo form too. That was cool. But the fact that he was still getting his ass looked bugged the hell out of me. I ain't gonna lie. They
like,
had his shit for
like,
that.
I get it's a movie and I get there has to be a give and take, but it's like you have not given these two characters that was the leads forms in a long time and they still kind of getting folded. I guess Gohan didn't really get folded, but like the other, like Piccolo out here getting folded. And then Piccolo, oh my God, I get it's a movie, so you have to remind people, but like, just like, I don't want the character to be like, oh shit, I forgot that. Like, I'd rather him do it and then like Krillin or somebody who's watching is like, oh shit, I forgot Piccolo could go big. But not like Piccolo, like, bro, oh my God. There were so many things where I'm just like, y'all just, this is nasty.
I personally didn't mind it, because you gotta look like this, like, look at us. Me and you. We forget shit, right? You know, this just shows Piccolo, this character, but the Namekian human who forget he done shit. I mean, he didn't do that shit since Dragon Ball.
That's like Grim. That's like you forgetting that, like, you could dunk or something like that. Like, you just, like, have a basketball and you go for a layup and you dunk it. You be like, oh, shit, I forgot I could dunk. It was like, no, you don't forget that. If you have a vertical, you have a vertical. If you could grow fucking big as fuck, you would remember you could grow big as fuck. Like, you just forget that. Like, hell, Piccolo, you stretch for a living and your arms regenerate. Like, what are we talking about?
I mean, motherfucker get his ass throughout the whole series. You would think concussion or maybe short-term memory. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I didn't mind it. That nigga still did it. That was cool to see. It is what it is.
What was your favorite fight?
Honestly, damn. I mean, shout out to Piccolo and Gohan, but fucking Goku versus Vegeta was my favorite fight.
Really?
And the only reason I say that is because it was the most choreography fight. It felt like a Dragon Ball Z. It felt like a Dragon Ball mixed with Dragon Ball Z fight. It was both. Like, it was actually blocking, dodging, doing techniques. You know, it was cool as fuck. especially when you realize that Vegeta was training, like trying to change up his style of fighting, because he was saying like, oh, like Jiren wasn't really stronger than us. He just know how to use power. That was cool to see that Vegeta is developing his own fighting style. Yeah, that was the best fight though. The animation was slick. Like when Vegeta tossed Goku ass, ring around the bells. I don't know what the fuck that was, but then Goku like recovered, did like the flips, and then like that shit was clean as shit. That was smooth as dog shit.
I do like how they kind of build up Jiren too, and like Jiren wasn't just all brawn. He had a strategy behind it too, so that was cool to get him a little homage. To be honest,
I also went to Mr. Gamma 1 too. That was cool. Like,
you said what?
No, Mr. Gamma 1 when he was fighting in the rain, and then the sun.
I think that might be my favorite fight.
The beginning of that fight is just so raw. Like he's all like, "You gotta kill me," and started running, and then Gohan did that smooth ass roundhouse kick. That shit was clean as shit. Like, what?
Yeah, and then he like asked like Gamma 1 how much energy you got left. He's like, I got 82%. He's like, what? 82? But no, I think that might be my favorite fight in the fight. I think if Broly would have fought, just because I wanted to see the dynamic of Goku, Vegeta, and Broly fighting, and I would honestly, what I wanted to happen is Goku, Vegeta, Broly fight. Broly obviously don't know how to control his like without doing ki blasts and all that shit. I wanted Broly to go crazy. And then them to show us like Whis and Beerus could still shut shit down. Like they are the top upper echelon. Like I wanted that to happen so bad. But then he's like, bro, you sit this one out. I almost verbally went like, nigga. Oh my God. So for me personally, I think Gohan and Gamma 1 was my favorite fight.
Well, Piccolo versus Gamma 2 was shorter. That shit was short. Like,
that was cool. Like, it was really like, oh shit. And like literally Piccolo did the meme like, oh, I gotta get out of here.
Like, oh, I think you can still, like, you got hits, bro. You can still fight this man, but at the end of the day, helped out because he ended up, finding the base and all that shit. So I guess it was a reason for that. Obviously, Gamma 1 animation was cool. That's probably why Goku versus Vegeta is my favorite fight though, because I feel like it started off smooth with the karate and it kind of just like, okay, now it's just gonna they're just fighting really. Really, that's really about it.
I will say like something that should get love that probably don't get a lot of love from like reviews or discussions. I don't know, I haven't listened to a lot of them. I would say just the fact, like those little quick retellings of Dragon Ball history, like the Trunks slicing up Frieza was so clean to me. I don't know why. I just liked it so much. I was like, oh, that's hard. That's hard. I was like, I want to see Trunks in this.
Dragon Ball it's like, when that shit came up, I'm like, y'all know y'all could have just did this, right? Like, I was saying animation was in Dragon Ball Super, it was cool. You obviously could tell, like, shit, the first half, they kind of just like, they didn't go all out as they did in the second half, obviously. Like, that part where Gamma went into the sky and he came down, like, that's the cleanest animation. And that's why I also do fuck with this movie because of the animation, is that it's 3D, but it was certain parts in the movie that it made it look like it was still 2D,
I would say, like, sorry to cut you off, but I would say that this movie, my bad, my fault. This movie had the most personality out of anything Dragon Ball I've ever seen. Maybe that's because it went like it had an easy formula to follow with the superhero route of the old school comics with the effects and stuff like that. And it had like callbacks because it was bringing back the Red Ribbon Army. It was bringing back androids technically with the Gammas, and it had an easy formula with Broly. You're creating a new storyline for Broly. You're creating a new version of Broly. You have to like kind of pull new things and create new things. Like to me, this movie felt like a lot of love was put into this movie. So that's why I think the animation.
Because Dragon Ball Broly was just hands again.
Yeah,
hands again. Like half the movie was, and it started off cool too. With the whole flashback. It was cool seeing Bardock again, playing Vegeta, all that shit. I'm like, oh shit, this might be like a person out of the movie. Nah, they were just throwing hands. Not to say obviously I enjoyed it, but like compared the personality in that movie to this movie, Dragon Ball Superhero got Broly beat. Like, bro, so much personality was shown in this movie, bro. With Like even the smallest shit. Like, cause I wanted to bring this up earlier. You know, like when Piccolo went to Pan school, right? And then obviously the guard got knocked out. The teacher, she was scared, but she knows Piccolo. Like, isn't that fucking cool? Like, other people know Piccolo too. Oh, that was cool. Like, she was like, oh, so this guy's with you and Piccolo, and he says her name, like, oh yeah, sorry if you had to see that. I'm like, yo, this cool ass motherfucker, bro. I fucks with it. That was cool to see.
Oh, actually, you bringing it up just reminded me something else I hated about Gohan. When fucking Pan recognized Piccolo and Gohan couldn't, I was just like, oh my god, Gohan. She's like, oh, Piccolo, what are you doing wearing that? He's like, oh, you notice me? He's like, yeah, I can tell by your energy level. And then Gohan's just like, yeah, can y'all leave? First of all, he was way too calm for niggas just knocking on his window, doing first of all, the iconic scratch. It's just like, yeah, I don't know, who are y'all? Like, bro.
Right. I mean, he is the same though. He probably is this regular ass human. So I'll be calling too like, bro, what y'all want? Y'all leave? Get the fuck on.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could still like recognize like Piccolo at least. And then he almost destroyed his house when they said they took. I was like, yo, bro, your house? I get it. I'd be mad too, but like your house?
That is crazy though. Like, you know, and then Gohan would swear, he was like, oh, you really think I got rusty? But then couldn't tell who Piccolo was in the fucking. Oh yeah, okay. That kind of, now you bring it up, that kind of makes me a little triggered. Like, bro, what? Like, they sense ki every time a strong motherfucker's in present. Unless Piccolo was just that fucking good at hiding his ki, he's not exactly a god. Go, like, come on, bro. Do better.
Actually, what did you think of, we kind of touched on it, but we kind of stopped. What did you think of Bulma? Because, like, obviously her trying to contact Goku and all them, she didn't get a hold of him. And then she got the Dragon Balls. That was interesting. Like, Bulma wishing for a BBL was not on my list of, like, shit that would happen in this movie.
You know, it's funny, too, because they actually hinted at that in Dragon Ball Broly. Remember that? Yo, when Dragon Ball does shit like that, it's fucking phenomenal. Like, cause they remember in Dragon Ball Broly, they was in the shit, and he's all like, Goku was like, oh yeah, you can like use the wrist to like secretly do the shit like that, and she got mad. And then we fucking see this movie, yeah, she really be doing that shit.
Yeah, because I guess she's the only one that really be like after the Dragon Balls, which I thought was also odd. That like she was the only one that's always active about the Dragon Balls. But.
Well, do motherfuckers even know about Dragon Balls, really? Like, regular humans?
I'm sure there's got to be, like, somebody out there that's noticed it. Or noticed something strange, like, just call back to Dragon Ball Z when Raditz land and the farmer saw that. Like, nigga was about to blick. Like, he wasn't going to do nothing, but at least he was, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had to go investigate.
Dragon Balls, they can be anywhere, nigga. They literally can be on a rock, far away from everything. Like, you know, humans don't exactly can't fly, so I mean, it kind of makes sense that humans don't know about Dragon Ball. But Bulma using that shit to get the BBL, wow.
And to get her face like cleaner too.
Right, that's wild that Toriyama put that shit in. I ain't gonna lie, because he even said like he don't really do well with like love story, but even in like with women. I mean, it's shown after all, so I can't be surprised.
So then, hey, let me ask you this. So, when Dende increased Shinron's power or made him bigger or stronger, I don't know the correct term or definition.
Made Shinron be able to do 3 wishes instead of 1 now.
Right. And Shinron gave Piccolo power and then some. What was technically the then some? Was it turning orange? Was it the new form, I guess? Yeah,
basically. Piccolo asking, a lot of people didn't like that Piccolo asked Shinron to get his power. He didn't ask for higher power. He asked to release his power. Like, all the power was in him still. It's not like he said, yo, let me be strong. He said, no, can you just grant my power? Because he called back to the Namek Saga. Namek saga, that's all they did was just, bring out the potential. So it's not really asking for higher power if you got the power still in you.
I still don't like it just because it's like, is this the cap?
It's desperate cause, desperate times.
Right.
I mean, desperate cause for desperate times, Like, I'm the only nigga on planet Earth. The strongest motherfuckers on another Earth. I gotta protect Earth because this motherfucker ain't gonna protect Earth. So I guess I gotta do what I gotta do,
But what I didn't like though is like, this feels like the cap for Piccolo. I'm not gonna lie, if we being honest. Because it's like, if this is the power that's within him, and he had to use Shinron to unlock it, and then he unlocked it and gave him a little bit extra, what could Piccolo do to get stronger? Granted, it might be, 5, 6, 7 years down the line, if Dragon Ball Super is still a thing, that he could get a new power, because, you can always write a new one. But, like, at this point in time, I feel like this is Max Piccolo. And even then, like, is Piccolo going to, just another idea, just on top of my head, is Piccolo going to use this on fodder now? Because in Super, he's only really fighting fodder. It's not like he's fighting, like, the big bads, unless they do, like, another arc where Goku and Vegeta leave. So, like, he gonna go orange on some Cell Jr. type niggas? Like, what?
I want to say he goes fucking Ultimate Piccolo. He got 2 forms now. But as far as like getting through power, I want to say meditating because he trains with meditating a lot. But even then, this thing meditates all the goddamn time. He's not getting nowhere.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, that's why I'm upset about Orange, because it's like, bro, if any, like, real talk, I like Piccolo. Piccolo, he in my top 10 for sure. I don't know where I would have him, but he in my top 10. And that's not slandering Piccolo in any regards, but he's in my top 10 for sure. My thing is, like, I feel like, personally, now, you could crucify me in the YouTube comment section, the podcast comment section, I don't know. I think Piccolo is the most ready-to-go fighter out of all the Z fighters. All he do is train. He train Pan, he watch out for Pan, and then he goes train. He drank water, he's pretty much a plant, so he don't need food. All that nigga does is train and go to distress calls.
Right, because she's all like, "Hey, Piccolo, are you busy lady?" Like, I was planning on training. Like,
that's all that nigga do.
But even then, it makes sense, but it don't, because technically Namekians are known for being like a strong power race. I think Piccolo is one of the rare Namekians where he sees Namekian's expectation and power, but even then, I'd probably say like it's barely rising above the expectations. So the Namekians on planet Namekian are weak as shit. They're like at a 3. Piccolo's power is among those Namekians to a 6. You would think it would be an 8 or 9, but I don't know. It's fucking weird that he just trains constantly. But see, maybe the problem is he doesn't balance between meditate training and physical training. Because Piccolo does meditate a lot. He trains, but it's meditate training. If you don't balance that shit out, I guess that kind of leads in your downfall, as in, your strength physical wise. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but even then, like with Vegeta saying what he said about Jiren, you would think Piccolo would be a master at that. You think Piccolo, he might not be as strong as Jiren, but you would think he would have that, be able to be as calm and calculated as ever in every single fight as Jiren, if not better.
Well, Jiren's an Alaskan bullworm, so the Alaskan bullworm type of nigga, so I don't know what you want to say about that.
I guess that's fair. That's true. That's true. So what did you think of this final fight scene?
I fucked with it. Yeah, it was cool. I want to say it's better than Moya's final fight scene, but it was still fun, dope as shit. The only reason I say that is because I remember I told you like this didn't really feel like a Dragon. Like it's obviously it's a Dragon movie, but it felt like a suit, like actual no pun intended, but a superhero movie. Like plot is simple. Bad guy tricks good guys thinking that these other good guys are the bad guys, so the good guys fight the bad guys with a misunderstanding. The good guys work with the bad guy that turn good guys. Yeah, sorry for the guys. It's to fight the actual bad guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
fight scene, animation was cool as fuck. Like Gamma trying to break Cell's dome piece is fucking noggin. That might be the cleanest part of the whole movie. If I do say so myself, like let me see. Piccolo rising up with his noise, that was clean as shit. That's one of the times it looked like it was still 2D. I like the fucking oh yeah. This is all over the place. I don't give a fuck. That's one thing I do fuck with this movie too. Is the settings in the movie. Like we went to a lot of fucking places in the movie compared to Broly. You know, we always on Planet Vegeta, Earth, and then like we was fighting at like ice mountains, like in lava mountain, like for the rest of the damn movie. So that's why I also fuck with this movie, because in this movie we was at Piccolo's house, we was at the Red Raven base, prison, fucking Bulma's house. Like we was, I fuck with this movie because of that shit. You know, Gohan's house. This shit had a lot of settings. And the last setting, you know, he was fighting they was fighting like the Rock and shit. That was cool. Yeah, it was nice. It wasn't tense.
I enjoyed it for the value of what it brought and how they all had to fight and come together. My only issue is just how Dragon Ball is. Like, I just feel like Vegeta and Goku wouldn't struggle this bad. I really don't against Cell Max. Like, if you put Vegeta, Broly, and Goku, I feel like they might get some like dust marks on their face. I don't feel like they would rip up their clothes at all. I feel like they would probably go like maybe Super Saiyan Blue, or like they would have to transform, but I don't feel like they struggle at all. And that's the only thing I hate, is because like you gave Piccolo this new form, you gave Gohan a new form, which he didn't really struggle in the new form, but like you built these characters up, and then there still was like, yo, that was a hard fight. Even Gammas was struggling. I'm just like, damn, like if the Gammas is built different and they supposed to be alright, like Cell Max is this and that, and especially it's like, obviously Grim knows this, but y'all might not know this. I am a Cell fan, so it's like to make Cell just this dumb creature that's super strong, but has a weakness spot in his head is kind of like, this is the final boss. That's why I'm like, y'all niggas struggling with this. I was just like,
I mean, Akari Toriyama did state had Cell Max been completed, he would have been stronger than he would have been stronger than Broly. So yeah, that's something you can say. And I guess we got to take into consideration that Piccolo and Gohan, we just got done fighting the Gamma, so because they were going to take the Senzu Beans, and Piccolo didn't take that Senzu Bean, so I guess he was somewhat drained. I don't want to say he was fully drained, because if you look at it like this, he was fighting Gamma 2, got his ass whooped, he was tired, and then he went to his orange form. So I was like, okay, is that for Orange Piccolo, or is that tired Orange Piccolo? Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So, I don't know. And we saw when Gohan got his new form, that nigga dog shit on that nigga.
Yeah,
Whoa.
so since we here, what do you think of his new form? Also, what do you think of him doing special beam cannon too? Because I was like, what the?
I mean, animation wise, was fucking fire. But, I mean, it's cool. Like, I fuck with the aura colors and all that shit. But when I look at the hair, that shit, I don't know why, this shit's gonna be like Dragon Ball fucking AF vibes, my guy. Like, why is the hair so fucking long? But I guess, what could have done with that, you know, at this point? Because, you know, they didn't use every goddamn color in the goddamn books for Super Saiyan transformations. And yeah, this form is cool.
My thing is, like, I just wish Dragon Ball, I guess, like, I'm in a weird dynamic of Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball, for me, and I'll tie this into Gohan, I want it to be where, kind of like we see now, like we see different people interact, kind of like the game, like fighters. Like, I would love to see Jiren interact with Gohan and like just shit like that, like where you just see, oh, you built this amazing world, you built this world where everybody fights and everybody's strong and this and the third, but I want to see different fights, because I don't want to see Goku fight the big bad. I want to see different dynamics and stuff like that. And another thing too is like I have a Saiyan problem. Like, I like that Gohan got a new form. It's called Gohan Beast or Beast Gohan, whatever it's called. But my thing with the form is like, I wish there was like I wish it was like a wheel, right? And it would show, because I like what we known before was obviously Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 4, and so on and so on. The reason why Vegeta never went Super Saiyan 3 is because he perfected Super Saiyan 2 and he made it his own version. What I would hope is like, I don't mind that like Broly is green and Goku Black's pink and Goku could go Ultra Instinct, but Vegeta goes Ultra Ego. I would want an explanation as to why these guys choose these paths, because it's like either show me that everybody could be everybody's path, or show me why the reason why Broly is a legendary Super Saiyan. Like if say the legendary Super Saiyan form is all about strength, so it makes sense for Broly to go all out on his strength because he's the strongest Saiyan, or sell me like Goku is so well versed and all around a great fighter that Ultra Instinct is the perfect form for him, because now you can't even touch him. Now you have to do this and the third. Gohan Beast is the best form because it draws your emotion, and you're more, the anger you get, the more stronger you get, because he's an emotional person, because he saw someone die. Because Gohan was tapped in with his emotions because he studied and he got all these different, he got to experience different things versus the traditional Saiyan route. Like, show me why it's good for each individual Saiyan to have these certain forms if you're not going to show me that all these forms are accessible. Because I would love to see a Gotenks that could go Super Saiyan God. I would love to see a Gohan go Super Saiyan God, or a Broly, or I would, because you made all these Saiyans do the same thing, and it seemed like as soon as a Saiyan goes Super Saiyan 1 or Super Saiyan 2, he gonna go a different route. Well, why is he going this route? Is it just because that's his shit and no one else could do that? So that's my thing with the Gohan Beast thing. Because like the Gohan Beast thing was like, obviously Gohan's peak popularity and peak form was when he was Super Saiyan 2. It was like, oh, y'all just really wanted that Super Saiyan 2 again. And it's like, y'all did it with the hair, y'all did it with the outfit, y'all I see what y'all did. It's an homage, I like it, but I'm like, so is Gohan only going to be the strongest person in the world when he sees someone dies? And then now, like, it meant... This is where my head went. Not that I'm a sick individual, not that I'm a fucked up person, but Dragon Ball, I'm a thinker. I'm a Scorpio. I overthink shit. Nigga, my head went, okay, so if Piccolo dying in front of Gohan makes Gohan Beast, what would make Gohan the strongest? Is it Videl dying? Is it Pan dying? Is it Goku dying? Like, what would, or Chi-Chi for that matter? Like, who gonna make Gohan the strongest? I guess it technically wouldn't be Goku because he's seen Goku die before. So
right, even then he didn't transform after that. So it's like, what the fuck?
So that's why, like, that'd be my gripes. It's like, not that I don't like this form, but I'm like, well, why does Gohan go this form? Also, I wish I would have saw something. I know it's for the movie's sake, but it would have been cool to see Gohan training with special beam cannon. And maybe it's not as strong, or maybe it's not as accurate. Maybe he has to, like, he cannot move whatsoever. Like, that would have been nice homage to see.
That would have been nice. So it's like Gohan. So it's like they gotta be doing something with Gohan then in the future, right? Like, you don't give us this new form
to go study.
Don't really show his shit, huh?
I said give him this new form to go study.
Right, like, I would assume he's gotta be used more in future fucking arcs now. Like, and Piccolo. Like, like, that's one thing I am curious. Like, where do they go from here? That, like, unless fucking Gohan Beast goes fucking Beast Gohan God. Videl does some shit. I don't know.
Well, that's why when I go into my rating, I have to rate this as a Dragon Ball fan. I can't, if I have two different ratings. I'm not gonna lie. If I have a rating as solely as far as the movie and my enjoyment of the movie, it's gonna be a good rating. But my rating, as in like just where it takes Dragon Ball rating, however you say it. But my rating as far as where it takes Dragon Ball is not gonna be high. Especially since I'm not off the high of watching the movie anymore. So since we kind of talking negative, I know we kind of touched on some of it a little bit, but like more specifically, what were some of your dislikes?
I don't know if I had a lot to dislike. The whole Piccolo getting his new form and still getting his ass whooped. That shit pissed me off. Yes, I don't know. Like, I really fuck with this movie a lot. So I don't know if I really had any discons about it. The Gold Tanks not showing up, well, fully showing up in the fucking movies, butt ass.
I guess because I guess I kind of got mine out the way as we was talking about them and bringing them up. I think the villains could have been better. Especially, I feel like for how Magenta went out was kind of like and how.
Right, he's like, I got this new body, but you didn't protect your fucking neck.
Right, and then now Carmine and Red Ribbon Arby got brought back just to not do anything. It was just kind of like, I was like, Dr. Hedo was cool.
Did you enjoy his character? I don't know if we talked about it.
I thought he was funny. I guess he did his job.
Yeah, it's the goofy geek nerd.
Yeah. Trying to think of other dislikes. I guess I already touched on everything, but it was just like I don't know. I guess when you haven't seen a character in a while, you was kind of hoping more for the character, but obviously it's a movie, so there's a time frame and stuff like that. Broly not fighting was the biggest one where I'm just like, if you change that, I think I'm cool with this movie. Fuck it, let's get
it. Development really though. Like they said, hey, you get each other's powers. So watching them fight, okay, like he's studying basically. He's doing what Gohan doing, but actually training. So I didn't mind it.
Right.
I know it would have been cool as fuck. It would have been dope as fuck actually, because I seen in the trailer there was like a shot of Goku flying, Vegeta flying, totally charging. I'm like, triple threat? Because have we ever got like a triple threat fight in Dragon Ball? Like that would have been fire as shit to see some shit like that. Like,
outside of a tournament, I don't think so.
That's what I'm saying. Like even outside of the tournament, there's never been like a 1v1 where like, yeah, that would have been clean as fuck to see shit. Couldn't see that shit.
Yeah, and I guess Beerus. I'm trying to see Beerus do something outside of risking it all. Like this nigga was trying to risk it all for Chile, but I'm tired of seeing him chill. It's like, all right, Beerus, you gotta start.
It is getting boring, especially because
it's over like the last few movies too. Like there's a lot of movies of this nigga just chilling.
And then again, we see that's crazy. We see Whis fight more than Beerus.
Right.
And Whis is not even goddamn short.
Yeah, that is crazy. Well, for the hot take of the podcast / YouTube video, what would be your rating for this?
I'm going to give this movie a 9 out of 10. My hot take, but I'm gonna say this with passion. Dragon Ball Superhero is better than Dragon Ball Broly. But I'll say it again. Dragon Ball Superhero. No, stop. No, I do like this movie. Not saying Dragon Ball Broly was bad. Yeah, I do fuck with that movie a lot too. I can watch that shit over. I can watch Dragon Ball Superhero, bro. Dragon Ball Superhero over again. I fucked with both movies, but I personally just had a fun time watching this movie than I did with Broly. Oh no, I do wonder because I didn't get to see Broly in the movie theater. If that would make shit different, I do regret not seeing that shit in the movie theater. I ain't gonna lie, that's that bullshit right there.
Nah, Broly in the movie theater would have been hype. That would have been hype, especially to see the fights and the crowd react, and like Vegeta doing his like cocky smirk when he's doing the like Wakanda Forever, like blocking. Like yeah, that shit would have been hard. Oh, Goku's warming up. Yeah, I can see the crowd getting hype.
Did you see it in the movie theater?
I think I watched that shit on YouTube. I'm not gonna lie. I probably shouldn't say that. No cap.
Don't talk too loud. But yeah, I thought this movie 9 out of 10 for me. Maybe the Piccolo Carmine is kicking in, but I don't give a fuck. It was just cool seeing them get like spotlight.
True. I'll put it like this. As much gripes as I have and as much complaints as I have, I will say for the enjoyment of the movie and watching the movie twice, Strictly off the movie alone, I do give it a 9 out of 10. It's a pretty good movie. I would highly recommend it if you've never seen it. I think it's a good time, and I think it's something that Dragon Ball fans that I think Dragon Ball fans that watch Dragon Ball Z, and could pick up on the Red Ribbon Army and things of that nature. I think there's a lot of like, this movie was made with love, and there's a lot of like, oh shit, like I remember that, this, that, and third, like that was cool, da 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 da. Like there's a lot of that, so I feel like people could find something that they'll truly enjoy and they'll truly like. But for what I know Dragon Ball to be and where this movie would lead to, and all the things that could happen in the future or with these characters that we all know and love, I'm giving this shit like a 7 or like a 6.5. Because I know it's not going to lead to much. Because, like, even with Super right now in the manga, like, it hasn't led to much. Like, bro, this movie made me realize I fucking forgot how much I like Piccolo. Like, that's what this movie did. I was like, oh, like, yo, I fuck with Piccolo. I kind of forgot. Maybe that's why all the discussions that we be having where we have those heated debates, I just be so, like Piccolo ain't gonna do shit. Piccolo ain't been on shit. Because they don't use this nigga. So when they used him, I was like, oh, god damn, he funny? he goofy? Some tropes I kind of hated a little bit others, but I was like, yeah, I forgot how Piccolo does a lot of shit. And it was a good feeling of Dragon Ball because you don't get to see that dynamic. Like you said, you don't get to see that dynamic of them niggas just sneaking in somewhere and actually having to hide. It's usually like a big chess contest where it's like, all right, I'm better than you. No, I'm better than you. It's like the fucking Salty's platoon or whatever. Like niggas just throw hands. It's like my, you know, obviously if you know me, one of my favorite animes of all time is One Piece. One Piece has callbacks. One Piece has world building. One Piece has these characters matter. So these characters might not have a pivotal role right now, but they're gonna build up to another role. I can see your face, nigga. But they do this, and that's the thing is like Dragon Ball. Like one thing that like One Piece doesn't have that like the Naruto's, the Dragon Balls of the world have is they have the world building, but we got to see these people grow up. So we got to see these different versions of these characters that like hopefully do get to change. One Piece is still kind of growing in the sense of like it's a moving world, but it's not grown. So this is why I care for Pan because I care for Gohan. Gohan is one of my favorite characters. Videl was a character, even though she got stomped out in the fucking tournament. Like I like Videl. I wanted to see her, so I was kind of upset that I only saw her on the camera. Like they built this world that I am so appreciative of, and they built dope characters, but it's like we just don't get to see it because we keep following the same tropes. I'm not mad at there being an infrastructure. I'm not mad at Goku fighting the head honcho. I'm not mad at Vegeta fighting the head honcho, but I want to see like other characters get a fight. Like I want to see Piccolo fight somebody, like somebody legit, not some fodder nigga that we just don't care about. I want to see Gohan fight someone. I want to see them having different strategies. I want to see them have different abilities and stuff like that because they're a part of these arcs too. They're training too. Like they're doing shit. They're living things, and it's just like Dragon Ball Super showed that like, oh, the world of Dragon Ball is still amazing. It's still a good show. It's still have all these characters, but it's kind of like getting to a point where they're just not doing anything. Or at this point, if you're not going to do anything as far as build them up and create these worlds, nigga, show me some cool shit. Show me Broly fighting Jiren. Oh, I want to see that. Imagine that animated. Like, of course I can see it in Fighters. Of course I can see it in Xenoverse. Of course I can see it in these trading card games. All these other games. I want to see it in the show. I want to see it in the manga. Like, I want to see if you build in this world, what are you building this world to? And that's the only problem I have with Dragon Ball is because it's more based off of not a world, but more of like Dragon Ball is like Fortnite when Fortnite first came out, where it was a tower defense. Like you just build it and you just hope for some bad shit to come and you hope that you're ready for the bad shit. That's all it is at this point. I want to see them go out in these different worlds and seeing like Universe 6 and Universe 7. That's why I think Super, when it came out, was so dope to us because the Goku Black arc was interesting because they went to a different timeline and we got to see Trunks again. I think Universe 6 versus Universe 7 was interesting because we got to see these different characters. We get to see Hit look cool. The tournament arc was amazing because there was niggas that was technically stronger than Goku. Everybody's like, oh, what? Jiren's stronger than Goku? They hyped it up like it was an actual fight. Like, niggas didn't know what was about to happen. Like, do you remember that when it was like, I think it was like episode 106, the 107 or some shit. It was like Goku versus Jiren. Like, I remember FGC niggas commenting on that and like making it a tournament. I'm like, bro, what? And I wasn't even watching Super at the time.
Bro, yeah, that shit like a pay-per-view, bro.
Yes!
There you go.
That was cool as hell.
Right.
And so that's why I have to rate it so low, because I know what it's going to be. It's like I'm so hyped. I'm so passionate talking about Gohan, Piccolo, even the Gammas, but it's like these niggas about to take a back seat and we might not see these niggas for 30 chapters, and how they do chapters in Dragon Ball Super is like one a month. So it's just like, well, let me forget about these characters. So
yeah,
it's frustrating.
Shit, I was just a wake up call. This is, hey, you have other characters, but they didn't Goku Vegeta. Use them. So yes, go on, no more. Just use Gohan, use Piccolo, use Jiren. Yo, use Hit. They kind of like threw him in the father in the tournament. All right, I ain't like that shit. That pissed me off. I just watched that the other day too. That's that bullshit right there. But yeah, it is basically making it seem like your problem is, you know, they just keep making it to Goku and Vegeta show. All right, time, Vegeta. Yeah, I said it.
Even this, yes, it's not even the fucking Vegeta show. Yeah, you ain't wrong. I can't disagree.
But yeah, the movie. I don't know all around the movies. It's just a good movie.
It really is. It really is. Is there anything else that you want to add?
I mean, that's weird. Yeah, I guess another thing, like when you was talking about the characters, I didn't like that Tien was in the flashback in the beginning, but they didn't bring him in the fucking movie later. I thought that was kind of stupid.
Yeah, I guess no Tien, no Master Roshi. That was weird.
They didn't dress. They did. Like, I brought the Z Warriors. I'm like, yeah, there's more warriors than that, right? There's 17.
Oh yeah, Yamcha too.
Yamcha, Tien, like where were they at? Roshi, they could have come. They could have came too. Other than that, no, I really have much I didn't like about it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I keep saying, it was the bias in me that just enjoyed it so much. It was cool to see so many settings, personality develop. That may be the key word for the movie: personality. So much personality. I'd spit all over the camera. So much personality in the film, which they don't do in Dragon Ball lot. So that was cool to see.
Now, is this your favorite?
Top 3 for sure.
Well, I know you already said it, you like it better than Dragon Ball Super Broly. Is this your favorite anime movie that you've seen recently?
Shit.
Because I feel like I still got Jujutsu Kaisen movie 0, I guess. I don't know what it's called, 0. I still feel like that's my favorite right now. One Piece come out next month, or actually come out in November, so I think I'm gonna like that a little bit more. But
of course you will.
Hey, bro, I'm biased, bro. Can't help it.
You know, I still haven't seen a new My Hero movie. Y'all gotta check that out. I gotta check that shit out.
That third one?
Yeah, with that Deku, Bakugo, and
Todoroki.
I haven't watched My Hero in a minute too, so please forgive me.
You ain't. Wait, what you say? You say Todoroki?
Todoroki?
Todoroki.
Yeah,
I thought you said Todoroki. I was like, what the fuck?
No, I still haven't seen that movie though.
Yeah, I haven't either, bro. That movie.
Did it come out? I don't know if it came out.
I think it did, but I don't want to say it flopped. But like, niggas was not making any noise about that shit. Right. Actually, because you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy about the universe is I think it's
It's of the universe.
I think it's vocal. It might not be vocal pineapple. It might be. It might not be. I know he does My Hero content, but I don't know if it was him. And somebody had like the My Hero villains from the movie, and I saw a nigga I didn't recognize. And I'm like, yo, who the fuck is that? And then now that you say it, I was like, oh shit, I never saw the third movie. I'm just like, oh wow.
Yeah, I gotta check that movie out. As far as anime movies, I haven't really seen a lot of anime movies either. Only one I can really think of was Demon Slayer: The Mugen Train. That was a cool ass movie. That is a movie, right?
Yeah.
That was a cool ass movie. The animation. It was, yeah. When you Dragon Ball Super, I think I do got Demon Slayer over that though.
Oh damn! Demon Slayer movie did come out. Damn. Actually, I gotta think about that too, cause I'm trying to think. Where did I see that at? I don't know if I went to the movie theater for that one. I know I went to the movie theater for Jujutsu Kaisen, Dragon Ball. I think that might be the only anime movies I've seen in theater.
Man.
Damn, now I gotta think about it. Do I have Demon Slayer over Jujutsu Kaisen?
I don't know. Shit, ain't you?
Oh, which one you got? Oh, have you seen the Jujutsu Kaisen?
Nope, man, no. I've been busy, man. I don't got time to do things as much as I want to these days.
Yeah, I feel that. You know. Well, shit. Anything else to say, or should we wrap this thing up?
Let's wrap it up then.
Well, Grim, I couldn't think of anyone else. I would rather do a Dragon Ball superhero movie discussion review. The floor is yours. Anything you want to promote? For those of you who do not know, real quick before Grim talk, he is an actor. He is a rapper, a successful rapper at that. His music kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. I hope Grim really does this music shit. I can see him, but he can't see me, so I'm gonna big him up while he can't see me. I really hope he does his rapper shit. I'm not gonna lie, he's pretty talented. I think if he gets with the right person, maybe gets with a voice coach that could kind of like make sure he could hit some of those notes or hit some of those sounds, I think this nigga could really do it, because lyrically his penmanship is not bad, his lyrics ain't bad. He got talent. As far as like niggas I know who actually rapping and who actually doing it, not saying I'm not trying to throw shots, but I do know some niggas. And like he's the best I heard where I'm like, oh, like naturally where I'm like, this sounds natural. It don't sound like a nigga talking that I know that's trying to rap. Like he sounds like a rapper. But he's also a YouTuber. He does that quite well. I mean, he need to get back to it, but you know, I know why he's not, but yeah, floor is yours, brother.
Hey, appreciate that. Appreciate all the words for real. That it just makes me want to keep getting to this music shit and the acting and YouTube shit. I ain't gonna lie. Now I'm really starting to really get to the point in my life where I'm like, oh, you gotta start making some moves. So hopefully we can continue doing the music shit and all that. I don't know if you go. But if y'all want to check out the song I made, my very first song I made, hopefully, I don't know if you're on my left side or one of these sides, he will put the link in the description for my single, First Place. I'll have music, Spotify, and SoundCloud, my bad. And yeah, once again, thank you for having me, boy, man. Also, dope to make a video with you. We like Jack and Kobe out here, man. The duo don't ever disappoint, man. We gotta make a video on my channel too soon.
Just let me know. Yeah, so hopefully you got some sort of enjoyment in it. Even if you got I don't know how long this shit is because I just updated my OBS so it doesn't give me a timer. But hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully, even if you didn't enjoy this and you was like, damn, this is the dumbest two guys I heard talk about Dragon Ball in my life. Correct everything they said in the comment section. Do it. Might be right. Might not be. I don't know. Be sure to rate this 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor. You can subscribe for as little as $1, $4, $9, whatever you can afford on Anchor, Twitch, or Tyler Bryan Hour /Anchor.fm. This will be on the YouTube channel. Like I said, Tyler Bryan Hour has their own YouTube channel where the podcast we just uploaded is there right now. First video on that channel. Be sure to check that out. And love y'all and see y'all next